So most of you guys were probably expecting me to be making a hero video today, considering the brand new structure deck, and of course Rainbow Neos' release. Well, I wanted to avoid making that structure deck so badly that instead, I spent $400 on a selection box. I'm not exaggerating. But the good news is, the deck that I did end up making turned out to be way better than I originally thought, especially in the hero matchup. I thought this deck was going to get absolutely pounded in that matchup, but it turns out, I don't think I lost a single game against hero, and considering just how good that deck is, I think you're gonna like what I cooked up here. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before I get into the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see some more content just like this one and more deck lists just like this in the future, please do leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Alright, let's jump into this list. Alright, so today's deck list is going to be your Dogmatica, Invoked, Flua, Infernoble. It's a bit of a mouthful, but basically we got two brand new spell cards from the selection box that have made it so that this archetype, or this group of archetypes, is a hell of a lot more consistent than it used to be. Basically, first of all, we got Magical Meltdown, a card that we should have gotten years ago. This thing, when it's activated, adds an Alistair to your hand. So basically, we now have 6 copies of Alistair, and you can actually count on being able to draw this thing a good amount of times, or at least a consistent amount of times. It's no longer just a pray to draw the Alistair, you actually are going to open it at least most of the time. Alright, then we have the rest of the effect, which basically just says, if your opponent tries to use anything in response to one of your fusion summons, that they can't. They can't negate them, they can't just activate like a Winder special summon in response to a fusion spell, so you can only special summon once that turn or something. Nothing can be used in response to your spell card fusion summons, so makes all your fusion summoning completely safe to being responded to. Alright, then we have the other spell card, Nadir's Servant. I absolutely love this card. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to add one Dogmatica monster or Fallen Valvas from your deck or graveyard to your hand that has attack less than or equal to the sent monster in the graveyard. Also, for the rest of this turn after this resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So this card, basically, you can send a card from deck to graveyard, or extra deck to graveyard, which is fantastic. We've got cards like, of course, your Titanclad, which is a card which could just add Dogmatica cards from your deck to your hand during the end phase. Or you can send another new card from the selection box, your Elder Entity Natis, which when sent to the graveyard can pop a card on the field. Additionally, it searches for a Dogmatica card, so it can search for your Virtuous. This leads to a very consistent play, where basically you do your entire turn, set up whatever infield you're going for, summon your Alistair, go through your Synchro summons, all that kind of stuff. Then at the end of your turn, you activate your Nadir's Servant. Despite not being able to special summon for the rest of the turn, doesn't really matter considering you've already done all your special summons, so it doesn't really matter. Grab this card, it can special summon itself from your hand, that searches for your trap card, and of course you can send this to the graveyard with the spell, which searches for the other Dogmatica piece. So this card becomes a 2 card, basically 2 disruptions in 1 card. And also going second, it becomes a board breaker that can send Natis to the graveyard, just pop a card, as well as searching for a Dogmatica. It's absolutely insane. Now as for the rest of the deck list, it's probably all cards you've seen before, so I'm not going to bother going through it. All the combos and stuff you'll see during the gameplay portion anyway, but one last thing I am going to mention is because of an upcoming ban list, Konami's decided they're going to limit this spell card to 1, which is a little annoying because it hits this deck in the crossfire, meaning soon you won't be able to play your Macabre and this card in the same deck, so you're going to have to choose to cut one eventually. Probably going to cut this for a Purgatrio because this card is so goddamn good against skills. If you don't know why this card's so good, just wait till you'll see the replays. You'll see one replay example where I bully someone with it. But basically, it's a floodgate against skill effects because a lot of skills put things face down and they can't put them face up, so it's a fantastic card. But yeah, Konami's going to limit it soon, so watch out for that. You are going to have to replace one of these eventually. Probably just cut this for a Purgatrio or something, but whilst it's legal, I'm going to play it. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out some gameplay. So today I've got 7 replays to share with you guys, and you might be surprised to hear this, but most of these replays are actually going second. Despite this deck list basically only playing one singular tech card, the rest of it is actually really goddamn good going second, so much so that most of these replays were just shitting on people going second, so I was really impressed by this deck list, just because most of the losses I had, I think I only lost 3 games, one of which I timed out because I'm a bit of a boomer, one of which I had just an incredibly bricked hand, and the last one, I don't even remember what the last one was, something that was like also in my control I'm pretty sure, so Yeah, I think if you're just really good at the game, and you'll just have fast hands and you're a bit of a boomer like myself, then this deck is going to do very well for you. Alright. So starting us off, we've opened a Magical Meltdown, which is fantastic, so that means we can go straight into the Invoke stuff. If you don't open the Invoke side of things, you're probably just hoping you're opening a copy of your Ecclesia, just so you can normal summon it, not use the effect, and just still have a little 4 on field to do the rest of the combo. But most of the time, you're going to open this card, and you can go for this combo. So normal summon Invoker, searching for your invocation, using my skill, shuffling a card back, placing level 2 on field, turning the Alistair into a level 2, to go into your Hastor. Now the main reason we want to do this is we need a wind, of course, for your Necro Synchro to summon a card, but getting a hold of a wind is also important for your Invoke summon later on. Alright. These two are going to become your Roland. Roland during the end phase now to be able to search for some cards, summoning back the Bulb, swapping out for a level 8 so we can go into our level 9, summoning our Charles. So the main reason you want to play Charles mostly in this deck is because it's not limit 1, because for some reason Konami just like limiting 1 a lot of really powerful boss monsters in this game, and recently I think it was either Charles or the little monster in Graveyard has been taken off limit 1 pool, which is great because now Charles is completely free to be played in decks like this one. Alright, activating Invocation, summoning out your Ragin, how do you pronounce this thing? Adding back the Alistair, and now, because we've done our entire turn, we can start off by going into the Dogmatica side of the deck, which locks us out of the extra deck. Grabbing your Fleur, setting your Gnarl to the graveyard, or Gar, or how you pronounce it, and then this thing can add it back during the end phase, and additionally, we also search for a Gearfried from the level 5 in graveyard as well. Alright, opponent's going to try to use Beast, we're going to negate that with the Knighted, or the Fleur. Opponent's going to try to use the skill to place a Sacred Beast on the field. Or at least in a second he does. There we go. And this is when he realizes, because of this card right here, he can't change the battle position of that face down. So despite him getting a free monster on the field, he can't even use it. Which is why this card is so incredibly good against skills. It completely destroys Ghost Trick. It completely shits on decks like that fairy deck that goes around that normally places 2 monsters on the field. They cannot flip them face up, so they lose instantly. It's absolutely insane. So I don't think you're ever going to cut it. I think you're more likely to cut Macabre than cut that one. So, alright. How have I forgotten the name of that deck? Stupid deck where you reveal a card in hand, place 2 dudes on field. Whatever that deck is called. I've already forgotten it. Blanked it out of my mind. Alright, first hero replay of the video. So there's a couple of these. I'm gonna go in second this time. Alright, not a bad hand. Most going second hands if you open either this or the new spell card, you're pretty safe, or pretty set to go. The new Dogmatica spell card, that is. Emergency Call, searching for the Stratos. Stratos gonna be searching for some Liquid Soldier. This deck just goes on and on now, man. If he got the other new card from the structure deck, he can draw 4 cards in a turn, basically, so thankfully he didn't hit that, and he sets 3 cards and passes. Alright. So putting the Necro Fleur on the field, gonna pop the Fleur to pop the back row. Necro Fleur gonna summon a card to the field, he's gonna pop this, probably so I can't go into Dingirsu. Gonna summon a card from his graveyard, he's gonna Lost Wind me. Surprised he's playing Lost Wind. Normal summon Alistair uses Lost Wind. Oh, hero players have such big brains. This card's only used on special summons, by the way, and this card is in fact not special summoned, so he concedes. He 100% lost there, so unless he had some hand trap or something in hand, but I don't think he did. Maybe he had a hand trap or something, but basically he'd lost there if he didn't have a hand trap, because I would just gone completely off, so. Alright. Replay number 3. You're going to see a couple of interesting hero plays in this video. Not doing it's not doing hero players any favors, I'm afraid. They are certainly living up to their reputation. I think this one was the MST incident, if I remember correctly. Oh, this is a banger hand. So any hand where you open Alistair and you open a Dear Servant, oh my god, you are set for life. Alright, so Invoker going to be searching, going to be putting the Necroflora on field, making the Hastor. Summoning the Tuner to the field, making your Captain Roland. Alright, getting the search during the end phase, reviving the Tuner so we can go into a level 9. Making your Infernoble. Invocation going to be banishing using the Wind Monster to make the Rajin, or however you pronounce it. Adding Alistair back to hand. Nia Servant going to be sending, grabbing your Dogmatica Ecclesia. Ecclesia going to be special summoning. Grabbing the trap card, and because of course we sent this suit to the graveyard, we can now search for Dogmatica as well. As of course using all the end phase effects from the other stuff. Alright. Now keep in mind, because we have this trap card in the field, something very important to remember with this trap card specifically is once you use it, you can't summon monsters from the extra deck during the next turn either. So your follow-up is going to be your Gearfried summon and your Dogmatica cards. That's your follow-up, because you cannot do any special summons from the extra deck. Also, of course, your level 8s as well, you can just normal summon them or special summon them, whatever else. That's all still doable, but your follow-up is going to be that side of the deck, not the extra deck anymore. Basically, you're locked out of it. So no Alistair on the following turn if you use this trap card. Alright. Mystical Space Typhoon, I'm going to use Blizzard on this. Blizzard is such a good card right now. The reason I'm playing it is mostly because this deck gets, or the entire field basically has no negation to Eclipse because you're not ending on the Macabre. So Eclipse is terrifying for this deck, so Blizzard kind of helps against that. Although you'll notice in a few of these replays, I did actually get Eclipsed, survived, and then just killed my opponent. You'll see that anyway. Alright, negating his MST, he then proceeds to use the MST again. Damn. Hero players are something else. Alright, he has a Book of Moon. Put my Arajan face down. Oh, also, I forgot to explain why this card's here. This card's here because it's basically a pseudo anti-Sewer Poly, anti-Kaiju sort of a card. As if your opponent removes the Infernoble, this card can special summon a warrior from hand. So we can special summon the Gearfried. Gearfried can then equip the card from graveyard, which you can just equip to it. And that gives you a negation. So you at least, even if you lose this, you don't lose the disruption because you still get the Gearfried with a negation on it. So you get something at least. It's not perfect. Obviously, sometimes you'll clog the field a bit with the Fleur in hand because you can't special summon it anymore. But I think it's better than nothing to at least have something if you get Sewer Poly or Kaiju'd. And to be fair, even if you do clog the field a bit, the odds your opponent isn't going to remove something else is like really low. So you're probably going to be able to special summon the Dogmatica at some point anyway. Alright, second Book of Moon. Stratos going to be searching for the Liquid Soldier. Polymerization making the Sunrise. Liquid Soldier going to be drawing a couple of cards. I'm going to be negating the Sunrise. Alright, he's going to Miracle Fusion. I'm going to Dogmatica Punishment now. The most scary thing against Hero is unfortunately this deck plays Neo's Fusion, which the trap card is actually so annoying versus this deck. Oh yeah, he just conceded because I was popping his final monster basically. Alright, I had so much follow-up. But yeah, the scariest thing I found versus that deck in particular is Neo's Fusion is just half your stuff is destruction, or at least your trap card's destruction. So your opponent uses Neo's Fusion, goes into like the 4,000 attack monster, you can't even remove it. Plus the Dogmatica Punishment has to send a card with a lot of attack to graveyard, and you cannot send a 4,000 attack monster. There just is not enough room in the extra deck to play one. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the hero deck is still favored versus you. It's just, this deck has a chance against it, basically. Alright. So Squamata going to be grabbing some stuff. Construct going to be grabbing some other stuff. Thank God I opened the Fleur here. This made this matchup so much better. So instead of summon the Fleur before worrying about his window, so I can just do it during his turn. So special summon this during his turn. And during my turn, I'm going to place a level 1 on the field, flip it face up. And now he had to respond here. He really needed to respond to this one. Otherwise, The trick that I've been shown a billion times now that people don't realize. If you don't respond to this one, I'm going to use my skill, place this on the field. You now have no chance to respond because it's placed via a skill. And yeah, your field's about to get deleted. This is the whole reason that Konami gave you the ability to respond to skills, because they let you they forced you to flip things face up, such as the Necrofleur. But he didn't respond, so I'm making my dude, and there goes his entire field. He even had a Blizzard just in case he had some sort of spell card negate as well. But yeah, it's all gone. And from here, just normal summon Alistair, grab Invocation, and yeah. Did I even have a lethal there? I don't even know if I had a, oh, I had Macabre. I could have summoned Macabre. Yeah, I had lethal. Alright, where are we up to? We're up to Nina, I think. Nina? Alright. I think this was also a Shadowll replay, if I remember correctly. Once again, going second against Shadowll. I think Shadowll has become a lot more popular recently because people just want to have the Floodgate versus hero. I think this guy bricked pretty hard though with his Shadowll hand. Because this is not the Shadowll combo you're looking for. He's going to have Re-Shadowll Incarnation set with a Winder Engrave. Alright, once again, putting this on the field. You know what we're going for when I flip this face up. You know what I'm trying to summon. He's now going to use this in response to the Meltdown, because obviously, like I mentioned during the Decklist portion, you can't respond to Meltdown, so he's worried that I was going to Fusion Summon, and he wouldn't be able to summon the Winder in response to lock my special summons to 1. So he's going to let me, yeah, he's going to put it face up immediately. Which is fine by me, because I'm going to normal summon. Let's see if he has a Brain Cell. No Brain Cell used yet, going to be swapping over this card in a second. He might even have a response. I forgot what this face down even was. Making Trishula, and goodbye the entire field. Oh, yeah, had no response anyway. I had a Flash Fusion. Right, now I did Special Summon, and yeah, he's just dead on field. Didn't even use the Invocation. Alright, 2 final replays. I know one of these was against a hero player. I've forgotten what the other one was. This guy's using an archive skill of some kind, I think. Or no skill at all. Alright, I think I got Eclipse to this game, if I remember correctly. So just going to do the same standard combo you've already seen before. So you're not going to open this combo every game, just the majority of your games, because obviously you're not going to open Alistair every single game, even with the field spell, because the deck is 30 card. So if you don't open it, like I said I think in the first replay, you can just normal summon the Dogmatica, not use its effect, and just go into your full combo, excluding the 1 invoked monster on the field, so you're basically down 1 disruption. So it doesn't feel too good to have to do that, but if you're opening a slightly brickier hand, that's sort of what you go for. But most of the time, I think it's... I don't know what the exact odds is. He has a Skullmeister. Of all the things to negate, he chose that one, but anyway. Yeah, I think I don't know what the exact math is, because I haven't bothered to do it, but I'm pretty sure 6 and 30 is at least 60% going first to open it, so you should open it most of the time. And going second, it doesn't really matter if you open Alistair. Alistair's just good to open. Alright, Book of Eclipse being used. There's a couple of funny equip spells I think I noticed in the game where you can actually stop this card being eclipsed, but it like stops this thing from attacking and reduces its attack by doing so I'm not sure about that one. Alright, anyway, up against Unchained. So the good thing is even though we got eclipsed, we still have the trap card for disruption, and we still have a buttload of monsters on the field still, and a special summon from hand, so hopefully we don't die. Alright, Punishment, gonna be sending a card to the field to pop something. Gonna be popping the big guy. He summons the dude to the field, beats over my 1 card, I draw for turn. Alright, Fleur going to be popping his monster on field. He's going to use the Unchained in response. He didn't really have to, considering this thing gets popped, it would just summon back another card from the graveyard. I'm not sure he even knew that. Alright, Gear 3 gonna be special summoning. Invocation now gonna be adding back the Alistair, which is perfect because I just needed one more card for that little bit more damage for lethal. Alright, beating over it, negating the effect with the Gear Freed. And we noticed, by the way, just looking at this field, without using a single extra deck piece, we actually had quite a bit of follow-up. Just these two cards alone is just really good follow-up. And I still had this card in hand, never used it. So I do think the trap card, one of the things I was scared about with the trap was because you can't use the invoked the turn after you've used the trap card, it feels kind of like you wouldn't have much follow-up, but the Gear Free by itself is just really good. So most of the time it's just fine. And the Alistair can just be used to attack boost your invoked, or for the turn after, if the opponent still survives, to then have even more follow-up. So you have 3 turns worth of follow-up with this deck, for sure. Alright. Setting 3 and passing. So I'm going to flip this face up and normal summon the Alistair. He's going to warning point me, which is really annoying because I can't use my invoke summon now. But I can swap this out. And this hero player was a little bit smarter than the other ones. He actually removed this so I didn't go into didn't get to activate my final skill and go for my full board banish. Slightly smarter hero. But I do have a Blizzard, so I forced out both disruptions here, which is so good. So good for me. Alright, gonna just summon out a level 2 to the field, make it level 1. This is such a scuffed way to do it, but I get my Hastor on field. Necro Synchron, putting the dude on field, making my level 5, my Roland, which gives me a search. Hastor going to equip to this, he's going to negate my Roland, which is a little bit annoying. Alright. Still have my special summon of my Dogmatica, searching for my big dude. And decide not to kill this thing. I could have summoned the big dude, swung into it, boosted the attack, and traded those off. But this card can't attack or use effects anyway, thanks to the Hastor, so I decided not to. Because I didn't have enough damage for lethal, sadly. Would have had enough if this card's attack wasn't halved as well. To summon Stratos, I'm going to be negating that. Contract, we're seeing that to Grave, placing the 3000 attack monster on the field. Flip it face up, I'm going to use Punishment to remove both of them, popping the Stratos, popping this card within a Tis. He's going to Book of Moon, okay, sure. I don't know why he thought that would defend it. And he is dead on field. He didn't even use the Sewer Poly. He could have like Sewer Poly'd in response, but I guess he had no play after that anyway. But at least he would end it with the monster on field, but whatever. Alright guys, I think that is the final replay, so that's going to do it with today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry this deck is so expensive, but I really didn't want to make a hero video because I don't like hero whatsoever, so hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like, and yeah, see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.